Okay.
Good day, Professor Muchie.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Good day.
Good
How are
day.
you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very well. Very well.
Great
Thank you very
stuff.
much.
For our sins, we are here together on a Saturday. How is your Saturday going?
Yes. No, I have a course on um, called TVC, Technology for Venture Creation, an advanced course on creativity, innovation,
Okay.
and technology for venture creation. And the students are expected to start up ventures and
Oh,
to set it up
wow.
in the townships, in the rural areas. So we are discussing about how to do it.
Wow.
So
Wow. This is
we had a good discussion, about 3 hours discussion.
wow. That
Yeah.
sounds really inspiring. Professor,
Yes.
can you please give us an idea in terms of your location currently? So
At,
where is this? Yep.
at the moment, I'm in Arcadia, in near the building in you
Oh,
know
you're just down the road
in
from me.
Pretoria. Yes, in Pretoria. Are
Yeah.
you in Pretoria?
No, I'm joking. I'm in Johannesburg, but
Oh, I see.
I would take about 30 to 35 minutes to get to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that's really great. So maybe just before we get into the meat, I'm very curious about what you were saying. So maybe can you give us like 2 minutes what it's about?
The course I'm teaching,
Yes.
is they are postgraduate students, master students.
Okay.
They are all from the engineering faculty in Swane University of Technology,
Okay.
and it's a course to make them not job seeker graduates but job
Mm,
creators. So
wow.
we start making sure that they actually develop,
Yes.
not just as individuals but as a team,
Yeah.
to do venture startups. So
Mm,
they do it, and they have been doing it over the last many. Now this is about, I don't know, seventh year that I'm doing this, and we used to
mm,
have what's called the Africa Entrepreneurship Award, and I was a
mm.
mentor there, so I used to get them seed funding also to support them to set it up. So a lot of them have done it, and it's very very nice. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't want job seeking graduates; we want job creating
Job
graduates.
creating. I love that. I love that.
Yes.
Without further ado, Professor, let me properly
Yeah.
introduce you and thank you.
Okay.
Good day, everyone. Good day, brownies, friends of brownies, anyone that is watching. I've got Professor Mammo Muchie today, and it's quite an honor. You know, every time I'm exposed to people of such caliber, I really feel like yeah, it's quite a blessing and an honor. You know, it's one of those situations where they say when you're in the presence of greatness, say little, listen more, ask more questions because there's a lot of wisdom, and knowledge to extract from that. So just before we start, Professor, I would like to read your bio briefly. Um, After which, then I would love for you to tell us, who Professor Mammo Muchie is, where you hail from, and how you came to walk down this path. So, Mammo Muchie, a distinguished professor of innovation studies at Tshwane University of Technology, holds several fellowships and has played influential roles in academia and advisory positions. His extensive involvement in African integration includes directing the research program on civil society and African integration, and serving as a key researcher on the South African BRICS think tank. And now we're going to say South African BRICS Plus. I don't know what's the new acronym going to be. Beyond South Africa, Mushi has made global contributions with roles such as a senior research associate at Oxford University and various academic positions in China, India, and Kenya. As a significant figure in education, Muchi founded the Returning Talent Fund and served as a special advisor to the African Union Student Council. He is the founder and editor in chief of the African Journal on Science, Technology, Innovation, and Development. Mushi received the first chair on innovation studies in South Africa, emphasizing doctoral and postdoctoral research in Africa. His commitment to education is evident in the establishment of the Africa Postgraduate Academy, where he has trained numerous doctoral candidates. With a notable academic career, Muchie has authored over 400 publications in African systems of innovation and related areas. His educational background includes studies at Columbia University for his undergraduate degree, and he earned his MPhil and DPhil. I suppose that's Master in Philosophy, Prof.
Yes.
With great distinction from the University of Sussex. Wow, this is really awesome. And I think maybe before, as you're about to tell us about yourself, where you hail from, what inspired you down this path. Am I pronouncing your surname
Yes.
correctly? Okay,
Yes. Yes.
okay,
Yes. Yes. Very good.
okay.
Thank you very
Over
much.
to you then. Yeah,
Yes. No, I was born in northern Ethiopia in a place called Gondar. Uh, it's in the rural areas of Gondar called Fantar. That was many years ago. And initially, I was in the rural areas, and I used to look after animals, and
sure.
I used to love trees and animals. But my father insisted I should go to school, so he took me to the city to school, and then I entered school. Then after the school, I started loving books.
Sure. Yeah.
So after that, just briefly to tell you, I was good in as a student, so
Mm,
I finished my elementary school fast, and then after that, when I entered the secondary school, there was what's called the World Youth Forum, and because of that, I went to America.
okay.
I won, and then I went to America. That was I finished my high school in a place called Dwight Morrow High School in Englewood, New Jersey.
Sure.
Um, and then I also had, there was a World Youth in this World Youth Forum. There was a
Yeah.
national television. There was a program called One World, Many Problems, and
Yeah.
then when I was in that television, and I must tell you something that will make you uh, amazed.
Yeah.
Um, there was when they selected from Africa, they selected another lady here. At that time, South Africa was separate from the rest of Africa, so they selected a lady. She was a white lady, and she was in the program. There was people from Latin America, from Europe, from Asia, from Africa, us and her, and so on. Then they asked one world, many problems. Then they asked one
Mm,
question: well, how about apartheid? Is it a big problem or what? She said,
mm.
no, apartheid is good. She said, apartheid. The Zulu kings like apartheid because it gives them independence. He said.
Wow.
I was so angry. I stood up. I nearly want to hit her. I said
Wow.
I said apartheid is outrageous.
Yeah.
It's evil.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
and then just to tell you my experience and that.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
there's a lot of struggle after that, because as
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Ethiopia, there's lots of things happening
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
after the imperial system. You remember Ethiopia was a country that
Yes.
but Madiba was he had an Ethiopian passport and he was
Mm,
militarily trained there. They even want to kill him. The Ethiopians saved him. So many things have happened. So, but
mm.
after the emperor, then came the military government, and then it's
Sure.
confused. The country is in a state of confusion. Then they created an apartheid type system, they call it ethnic federalism or
Mm,
something. And now
sure.
we still have challenges in Ethiopia with a lot of conflict. So,
Yeah.
but the main thing I must tell you, another important point is, uh, I was teaching in Europe, in Scandinavia, also in Denmark, everywhere. But I said I wanted to come to Africa. So, so I said I want to come to. When I said I want to come to Africa, I wanted to come to South Africa. The reason why I said that is because we've been struggling all our lives. We've been fighting against apartheid.
Mm,
Even when I was in America, I used to really fight a lot. We really
mm.
struggled a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Because of that, I said I came, but I'm glad I came here because now the students I'm teaching, I think they are doing so many doctorate students, master students, postdocs. No, it just has been wonderful. Just training a lot of the South Africans, and when they
Sure.
graduate, I feel that's my best salary. When I see
Wow.
them doing the best, achieving the
Yes,
best,
yes, yes.
I just get very happy and very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow,
that's what.
that's
Thank
really
you.
inspiring, Prof. I think as I know you've got a lot of publications. I think one that we are missing, if one is not in place currently, is an autobiography from yourself. I think there's a lot, of stories that we need to document. Um, Prof,
Mm,
and I like the way the journey that you've outlined, in terms of
yeah.
what led to where you are currently, because I would like for us
Mm,
to talk about, Pan-Africanism and how it fits as a philosophy,
mhm,
within the academia, specifically within Osiri University, and also how that plugs in or interconnects, let me say, maybe enabling Africans not only continentally but also within the diaspora in terms of what role, what does that look like? What are the tenets of Pan Africanism? Sometimes we throw the term around, and a lot of people may not really know what it means, or what are its tenets. And if I may, just early days of BrownSense, when we started, because we were very clear about the Pan African outlook, and one of the what do you call it? Backlashes was, it's, you guys are being reverse racists. Why are you doing this, and those types of things, and we need to all unite, and rainbow nation, and so forth. So I think I would like to place it, to put it to you in terms of how you see that within the academia, spreading obviously within, uh, into tackling the types of problems and challenges that we are facing continentally.
yeah. Thank you very much for asking this important question. Uh, as you know, Pan Africanism was did not start in the continent in Africa. It started in the diaspora.
Mm,
All right. Even the Pan African Congress, Sylvester Williams, um, W.E.B. Du Bois,
yeah.
and then all of them they did it from 1900 onwards. It came.
Mm,
The interesting question is the racism, the white supremacy, the
mm,
colonialism, the slavery that Africa went through. You see, we were commodified. We were dehumanized. They didn't want us to treat us as humans.
mm,
So the idea of Pan Africanism is actually rejecting that. You
mm,
don't humanize us. You cannot colonize us.
mm.
All right. I mean, that's the main idea. That
Yes.
was. You don't use racism, white supremacy.
Mm,
All these things must be rejected. So, so philosophy became like that. It is a serious philosophy, and they wanted all of them. You see, all the people
yes.
who got involved in this, yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
tried to make sure that even the 1945. Remember the Congress in that was held in London, where
Mm,
even
yes.
Jomo Kenyatta was there, uh, Kwame Nkrumah was there, all of them were there.
Mm,
W.E.B. Du Bois was there, Sylvester William, all of them were there. So
yeah.
who was there? The Caribbeans was there, America was there. All right. Also Africa, we also from Africa there. So the idea was for all of us as Africans to appreciate and recognize that
Mm,
enslavement was evil, colonialism was evil. All right. So to care and share, to value our humanity is critical.
mm,
So
mm,
the entire idea of Pan Africanism is the humanization,
mm,
the putting Africa, we call it putting Africa first, is to
mm,
put humanity first. Because if you dehumanize the Africans, you rejected them as humans, When they, by philosophy of Pan-Africanism, you say, no, we are humans.
Yeah.
We should not be degraded. We should be upgraded as humans. When you
Sure.
say that, it means anyone who does not appreciate and recognize Pan-Africanism
Mm.
is still, weak. I'm still saying,
Yes.
even
Yes.
ourselves, from our
Yeah.
side too, we should all believe in this and do the unity.
Correct. Yeah.
It's a unity of recognition of our humanity, all
Yeah.
right? Valuing our humanity, all right? Our solidarity, our social justice,
Yeah.
acknowledging all the knowledge that has been created in Africa, the
Mm.
spiritual strength, the great philosophy like Ubuntu, many
Yeah.
things that have been created in Africa. All these
Yes.
things is what this Pan-African Pan-Africanism started was also Ethiopianism.
Sure.
Remember, the Ethiopianist movement was there. They in 1829, when they were attacking them, even when people were taken, here they were, enslaving them. They were, on the Gore and
Yeah.
all this, and they were taking them. They were fighting. Why
Sure.
are you attacking us? Why are you killing us? No, they fought back and they say we are Ethiopians.
Mm.
And Ethiopia's stretched their hands unto God. It's in the Bible and it's in the Quran, the Holy Quran, everywhere. We are
Yeah.
there. Where are you? Why are you fighting us? They say like
Yeah.
that. No,
True.
I'm seriously telling you, they really did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then in America, in 1829, they created the first Ethiopia Manifesto.
Mm.
They even created churches and things like that.
Yeah.
And then after the victory of Adwa in 1896, here in Southern Africa, here from South Africa, they created the second Ethiopia Manifesto. So
Yeah.
all this, you see, the Ethiopianism is also connected with the same values I just explained to you about Pan-Africanism. It
Yeah.
started also like that. And again, where did it start? In the in the diaspora,
Yeah.
in America and in the Caribbean, and then it
Yes.
came, and all the
Yeah.
other people then came. Marcus Garvey, Rastafarians,
Yes. Yes.
all of them are connected to all this
Yes.
Pan movement, and that's what happened. I just want to tell you the background, the historical
Yes. Yes.
background
Yes. Yeah.
of Pan
You know,
Africanism. Yeah.
as you're talking, I'm thinking, and I don't know if you follow music, but specifically hip hop.
Yes.
There's an artist called Common in the
Yeah.
US, and there's a song by Common called Black Maybe.
Yeah.
Very touching, when you listen to it, and the outro, he speaks about the many challenges that we face, the many
Hmm.
doubts that we face as a people, right, from other people, other groups, and so forth. But very
Hmm.
key, he also highlights also from the self. It's not only others, but it's also me as Zuzugile Sony doubting myself. Hence, Black
Hmm.
Maybe, right?
Hmm.
And my question to you, with that in mind, and also, the philosophy of Pan Africanism,
Hmm.
knowing our history, right? And I am inspired by the many achievements that our ancestors made. My question is always, how do we take that, look within ourselves as individuals, but also as a collective, and either replicating it and bringing it to the now? So as opposed to, our ancestors did 1, 2, 3, 4. How about Professor Muchie is doing 5, 6, 7, and Osiri University is doing 8, 9, 10 in 2023 going forward? So how do you see that working in the present day? And what would be, the required intentionality, if I may put it like that, from
Hmm.
ourselves as a people, and as well as your Osiri universities playing that role?
Thank you very much. Very good question. I must say, first and foremost, we Africans still do not know our rich knowledge heritage, our rich spiritual heritage, even our rich struggle heritage.
Hmm.
with all the things others were coming to do to us. Our people didn't
Hmm.
accept it. They fought. They did struggle. Whether they succeed or not, there was a lot of struggle too.
Hmm.
The- Unfortunately, in the education system, this is not included. The indigenous knowledge, all right? All the things our people do now, even here in South Africa, still, the majority of the people, all right, use
Hmm.
traditional medicine to cure
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
It, we don't know it. We have not created a system of education to
Hmm.
make sure that all the knowledge that, as you rightly put it, our ancestors left is not something that we know about. I'll just give you a few examples.
Yeah.
There is a mathematics called binary logic mathematics.
Okay.
In fact, we wrote a book called Engineering Design Mathematical Modeling, and I wrote on it about this mathematics. It's an amazing mathematics. It's this mathematics that the entire internet world uses, not the mathematics that we learned adding, multiplying, dividing, not like
Sure.
that. It's like an extraordinary system. It was created by us in Africa here.
Yeah.
We should be even getting intellectual property for our mathematical knowledge
Yeah.
that our
Yeah.
ancestors created, and but
Yes.
we don't know it. People don't know it.
Hmm.
I mean, on astronomy, on medicine, architecture, in every sphere, Imhotep, an amazing genius, the genius of geniuses, the Einstein of Einstein called him.
Hmm.
He's African, genuine African. You know what? They acknowledge his knowledge, and they
Hmm.
are fascinated by it. These people from from outside Africa, but they
Yeah.
said he cannot be. You know what they say? He cannot be African. You see,
Hmm.
they even reject because he's genuinely African. In the very
Yeah.
ancient time, he
Yeah.
created all this knowledge, but we don't know it. If, in fact, I once gave a lecture on Imhotep. I ask people always, "Do you know him?" Nobody knows him.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, university professors don't know him. Anybody don't know him.
Yeah.
So what is very interesting about Osiri University is that it's got a grand vision of building the education system on by the values and philosophy of Ubuntu.
Hmm.
Right? It's an amazing, really, the way by which its vision and mission. Just to let you know, uh, sorry, sorry,
Sure.
I
No
moved.
worries. Yeah.
Yeah, its mission and vision is very, very fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a united spirit of creating a better world, not just by creating a better Africa, you create a better
Yeah.
world. And
Yes.
the curriculum combines the Ubuntu philosophy in all spheres of knowledge. So
Yeah.
we want to create a new curriculum which includes entirely all this excluded knowledge to be already over 100 curriculums are on it,
Hmm.
and and from selling our diamond or our wealth
Yeah.
to learning how to create, all right, the real
Yeah.
rich knowledge that we have. I think this visionary leadership is what has come from as a bedrock
Sure.
for this university, and it's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
And we're all in it now, and we want
Yes.
to
Yes.
build it, and we want to make sure that all this knowledge I'm just telling you about,
Yeah.
even the curriculums, have to be designed so that the indigenous knowledge is all known.
Yeah.
Who created the first university in Africa? Is as us.
Sure.
It's 300 years 300 years after us that the Europeans did.
Sure.
What do the Europeans have done? How much have they taken when they colonized us?
Hmm.
Huge amount of knowledge. It still is all everywhere. All right, it's still there all
Hmm.
over the world. They're taking it.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
even this. I just told you this language. It's called Gaze language in the ancient. It's letters.
Can you please show us, Prof?
Uh,
I know you mentioned earlier.
yes,
That's
yes,
on your
and
tie,
it's
right? Yeah.
yes, it's on my. I just worry. I just worry so that you can see it.
Okay.
No, no, but I mean,
Yeah.
this knowledge.
Yeah.
There's a professor from Sweden called Stephen Rubinson said that in 2007 we also have our own calendar. We're better than the
Yes.
Julian and Gregorian calendar.
Yes.
We have
Yes.
that. It's an African calendar. And then
Yeah.
you know what he said on when we're celebrating the the second millennium of that. He gave a
Yeah.
speech and he said the alphabet. He said, "All right,
Yeah.
is better than the Roman, all right, and Latin alphabet because it expresses any sound." He said, "Kwa, pa, cha,
Wow.
anything." But but the alphabet, the Latin alphabet, if when you say C, it says C on CEA,
Wow.
B E, U
Yeah.
U YOU. So it's confused. But this one is
Yeah.
not confused. He
Yeah.
says it could be the language for all of the world. He said, not the alphabet.
Wow.
Now we in
Yeah.
Africa don't even we still use Anglophone,
Mm.
Francophone, Lusophone, Levantine phone. We are phones. You see, we haven't changed. I really
Yes.
think this university that it is created now is a
Yeah.
great achievement
Yeah.
because what it means is that from now on, the graduates will all be really genuinely be, all right,
Sure.
knowing themselves. We don't know ourselves. Even we need to decolonize the education system too,
Yeah.
because if you just completely copy what the colonialists left, you copy the politics, you copy the economics, you copy the philosophy, everything, you
Mm.
copy history. What do? You get confused, and
Mm.
that's why we still are very confused. We
Mm.
fight each other when we have Ubuntu. You are me, I'm you. Why do I
Yes.
fight you?
Yes. Yes.
I should
Yes.
be
Yeah.
supporting you. Hurting you is hurting me. That's our philosophy.
True.
It will not
Wow.
only save us, it will save the whole world. Water wasn't
Sure.
created in Africa. Huge things were created, wonderful things were created. This
Sure.
extraordinary philosophy is what we will value and will do. In fact, on this Osiri University, on the Indigenous Knowledge,
Yeah.
I'm developing courses now myself, and I'll be running some courses to make sure
Yeah.
this is well done, and that's what we're
Yeah.
trying to do. That's just
Sure.
some brief description of what we're trying to do. I
Yeah.
think Osiri University is excellent, and the Professor Osiri is the young he we're all in the board members, but he's one who drove it. He's very
Mm.
nice, and he got registered in Lincoln, Nebraska, last year. It was
Yeah.
very nice. Yes,
Yeah.
it's now registered and it's going to go. So I
Yeah.
wish it could have been registered. I hope all other universities also learn from it and then combine, because
Yeah.
we need to decolonize the education system. We need to create appropriate technology, appropriate politics, appropriate economics, appropriate, science. Even the science we do must not create problems like humans and nature are suffering, from all the kind of things we create, nuclear, everything we create. No, we should
Mm.
create something that actually even the science we do is
Mm.
built in our appropriate, in our restorative justice,
Mm.
rehabilitative justice, in our values that are
Mm.
deep, those
Mm.
values that make sense, very
Yeah.
humane values. All of us are one human family. We're not,
Yeah.
we should not be treated as aliens. We are one.
Subhuman.
Something like
Yeah.
that is what we should.
I
That's
love that.
the value we need to
Yeah.
do. Thank you very much.
I love that. As you are talking, a few things come into my mind, right? And one of them, so I'll start with the one around Ubuntu and how it's such a beautiful philosophy that
Hmm.
even if it was to be deployed as a governance framework, corporate governance framework,
Hmm.
um, just the principle of Ubuntu, a lot of these issues that from a human relations perspective, within a lot of companies that we hear about, and you imagine a world where the measuring or the benchmark right, is what does the philosophy of Ubuntu say? When we do, business transactions, what does that look like? What is the experience and all that? Because currently we now live in a time when we hear acronyms such as ESG around governance being thrown around, and I think Ubuntu nicely packages it. So it's
Mhm.
almost like a catch-all, a scenario. And then the other thing, which is very close to my heart, and I
Mhm.
think what I see Osiri University playing a great role in, and you've
Mhm.
touched on it. One of the things that we as African people have experienced is not benefiting from our own intellectual property, the intellectual property created by our own ancestors. So we'll see it being created, and then it's then commercialized by everybody else other than us, and we lack some kind of a organized structure of how do we do these things. How do I take my musical skills, or maybe I know how to build a djembe drum or whatever musical instrument.
Mhm.
You were talking about different types of mathematics, and how do we document that and make sure that the next generations don't have these types of conversations, where I once had my dad, my grandfather doing one, two,
Mhm.
three. Yes, we incorporate that as a legacy and history, but now there's a base where they are building from. I can go on and on. So sorry, you got me excited with with while you were talking. Um, uh, on the screen, I've put some information, for the audience to know in terms of should they want to apply, and become part of the Osiri
Yes.
University
Mhm.
family.
That's right.
Yeah, the
Yes.
way that I've learned and experienced Osiri University, it's not a typical campus. Hence, I used the Osiri University family.
Mhm.
Um, and that's the information on the screen. And I'm going to
No,
show
I
now
can see.
the link where people can go. I think one
Yes.
one thing, Prof, that we maybe need to make clear, right, is this is an online
Yes.
institution. Yes, so
Yes. So
it's not
at the moment.
at the moment. It's not brick and mortar,
Yeah.
so it's online, and people can apply now if they do so before the 30th of November. We've
Mhm.
shown the information in terms of the savings that they will be making, but there are
Mhm.
obviously payment what you call plans for the
Mhm.
specifically for the exam fees.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so
Mm.
Prof, if today after this conversation I go online and I click and I become part of the family, what must I expect, as an individual from an Osiri University perspective?
Great. But something you said earlier, very important. I just
Yeah.
want to tell you about the intellectual property.
Yes.
How
Yes.
much
Yes.
how much we have lost. So
Mm,
many things we have lost from Africa, and others are still taking advantage. Let me give you one concrete example. Remember,
mm.
there's I don't know if you've ever eaten the Ethiopian food called injera. It's
I
teff,
might
a
have.
crop. Yes, teff.
Yeah.
Yes,
I might have.
in
Yes.
yes, and that crop now is growing everywhere. They are not, it was originated in Ethiopia. It's from Ethiopia, but now the Dutch are producing it, and
Sure.
the Dutch got the intellectual property. In
Yeah.
fact, a German accused him of saying that this is wrong, but still the Dutch managed to still win it back. So the intellectual property should be Ethiopian
Yeah.
because the crop is Ethiopian, but still you see external things. And as I mentioned
Mm,
to you, there's so many manuscripts also. They are
mm,
everywhere in in Germany, in France, in even from Benin. Recently the French tried to give some back. But
mm,
what I'm just saying to you is that there's so many complicated. Uh,
mm.
our knowledge is so rich, but this
It is.
has been taken, and they take it and they say as if we know nothing.
Yeah.
We are mystical and superstitious. We don't know knowledge. In fact, the greatest philosopher who in the 17th century, long before Kant, Hegel, all these people, who created the African Enlightenment before the European Enlightenment, 200 years before, is
Sure.
called, philosopher called Zera Yacob. He's an amazing man. You know what he said?
Yeah.
God is not religion.
Hmm.
God is truth. Truth cannot be defined by belief
Hmm.
or opinion, by reason. Can you imagine? He did it. He's extraordinary. So he created
Wow.
reason, but they
Yes.
told us we Africans are mystical, superstitious. We don't know how
Yeah.
to, we can't understand science, anything.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
this is part of the colonial. Remember this rejection, the racism,
Yes. Yes.
uh,
Yes. Yes.
the white supremacy, all this challenge
Yes.
that
Yes.
Africans have faced. That
Yeah.
is a what. Now what you're telling me, this Osiri University, we should really promote it seriously. And
Correct.
you,
Yeah.
I'm glad you even did it now with us, even interviewing us now to talk about
Yeah.
it. We need to develop it systematically, not in the way
Mm.
to just make it an online one, but it must be a
Yes.
university. We should make it the Pan African University,
Yes. Yes.
an
Yes.
example of the Pan African University. Its
Mm.
philosophy, its
Mm.
philosophy matches Pan
Mm.
Africanism.
I love that. I love that.
All right, the
Yeah.
African Renaissance, Renaissance Africa,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and I mentioned to you Ethiopianism too. All of them are together. The
Mm.
manifestos came,
Mm.
to
Mm.
liberate Africa from all this colonialism. and
Yeah.
and this is
Yeah.
done by and also the unity of Africans. We
Yeah.
must unite. Why we must unite is not, you see, the unity. What we're having a problem now is on this slavery, colonialism, racism, all these things that are dangerous against us. All right, that
Mm.
divided us based on this, that created the divisions, our borders. All right,
Mm.
everything
Mm.
they did through these things.
Mm.
We should, if we reject them, we put our Africanness, our humanity number one first.
Correct. Yeah.
Then, you know what happens?
Yeah.
We all own Africa.
Mm.
If we know we own Africa,
Mm.
can I just tell you, all of us should be millionaires.
Yeah.
Africa is very rich.
Yeah.
What don't we have?
There's abundance. There's abundance.
South Africa
Yeah.
has 16 minerals, over 3 trillions.
Mm.
I mean, you, the people of South Africa, are not many. You
Sure.
should own it. We
Sure.
should create the sovereign wealth fund to
I
make
love it.
like the
The
Norwegians created the sovereign. They are making all their people. They make that. You see, can you imagine? They do.
yes.
So we need something.
I
And then
love
look
it.
at the DRC Congo. They have resources estimated to 24 trillion. That's a in 2009. That was a combined gross national product of all of Europe and America in one
Sure.
place in Africa alone. But what do we have in Eastern Congo? The Africa World War. Always fight
Yeah.
with Belgium, France,
Yes.
even
Yes.
the United Nations military. Everybody is involved there. The European Union,
Mm.
everybody.
Mm. Mm.
And then our own African Union, they are not active. They are not really
Mm.
resolving problem.
Mm.
We need to find solutions. In fact, we should create, what we should be creating is what we call, we created what's called Africa Leaks, the African Network for Economics of Innovation, Learning, Competence Building. We need to create the DRC Congo leaks. We need to create South Africa leaks, all of them,
Mm.
to make sure that we create the knowledge world, so we
I love
can,
that.
and then link it to Osiri University. And if
I
we
love
are
it.
linked like this, then we unite ourselves. We learn that we are all one family,
Mm.
and then we own Africa. We have
Mm.
everything.
Yeah, for
Even
sure.
even we should not have load shedding. We should not have water problem.
Yeah.
We have water. We have everything.
Yeah. All the
I
solutions are within reach.
and the solar energy, the
Yeah.
Sahara alone, That energy can give us free electricity to all of Africa, even Europe.
Sure.
We created what's called ANSOL, African Solar Energy Network. Google it,
Aye.
www.ansol.org. If you
Can you
see
say
it
that
like
slowly? I want to type it across the
W,
screen.
yes, www.ansol, ANSOLE,
SOLE dot
yes, .org.
org. Okay.
We have also something called AfriLit. We want to use also digital technology to make
Mm,
sure all the African languages are also preserved very nicely. There's no need for
mm,
us to fight. My language is better than no, 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 no. We could learn as many languages
mm.
as we can, but we can also digitalize it now. So
Yes,
we have
yes, yes,
created
yes.
also AfriLit. So an
Yeah.
institute on language also. Many things like that. We need to be careful. We need to, and these things I want Osiris to really integrate them. So
Well,
by
I
doing this integration, then
yeah.
we'll do a systematic way by which we could, the education side, the academic side is a unifier side, Pan-Africanizer
Mm,
side,
mm,
Ubuntuizer side. We create something like that.
mm,
If we do that, that would be the
mm.
best solution. That's my suggestion. And I
I
like you
think
to continue, and the media like you must also get engaged and do this
exactly.
work. Thank you very much.
I think, Prof, you've given us a high level of a blueprint, if I may put it like that. You know, and the way I'm seeing it and the role that Osiri University can play is the quality of people that Osiri University
Mhm.
can produce, right? Are strategically placed at different institutions, industries, and so forth, including politics, including finance, agriculture, and so forth. And
Mhm.
and and when I speak about being intentional, those are the types of things I'm talking about. It's no longer a romantic conversation or romanticized,
Mhm.
conversation about the past and all that. But now there's a blueprint that says, okay, this is
Mhm.
what we are sitting on. This is the plan going forward. But
Mhm.
also being aware as to who benefits from us not being united, because I think that's also a pertinent
Yeah.
question that needs to be at the front of our minds. Because then that tells us, what and who we are fighting against, and not to
Mhm.
be naive and think, it's just only going to be a walk in the park. Because our disunity does benefit someone. That's why things are going the way they
Yes,
are. Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. You put it very well. Can you imagine
yeah,
our disunity
yeah.
is something external actors, all right,
Mm,
fully try to continue.
mm,
And they use our divisions. They want us to be divided,
mm,
and
mm,
especially our politicians.
mm,
When the elephants fight, who suffers? The grass.
mm,
When the politicians fight internally,
mm.
who suffers? Us, the people. Only people who have
Yes,
nothing to do. So
yes,
they are making us do that because the huge amount of resources that Africa has, all
yeah,
right, is something they don't want to lose. So look what's happening now in the so-called francophone countries. From
yes,
from
yes.
2020 to 2023, in the last 3 years, 10 coup d'etats. From 1963 to
Sure.
now, over 246 coup d'etats in Africa,
Wow.
out of which 106 became successful. There is no stability. There is no political system, no governance, no institution, no leadership quality. Leaders must learn how to serve. Their best salary is serving the people, not their pocket, not their
Mm,
bank account. It's horrible. They go for money
mm,
and kill their own brother. Look who killed Thomas Sankara.
sure.
The French gave money to his own best friend. They told him, "This guy is after you, Thomas Sankara. Be careful." He says, "Why? Why you say that? He's my brother. Why are you saying that? We're
Mm,
together all the time. What are you saying? No, he's after you. He's going to hurt you. Please do something." He said,
mm,
"No, he's my brother." What did the guy do? He got the money from France and killed him,
mm.
murdered him. This is our problem. Our own
Yeah.
politicians are connected to external actors and
Mm.
they are more interested in their own benefits than
Self-serving.
the
Yeah.
benefit of the people. What we need is a leadership quality, a governance quality, institution quality, system quality. The main job is to eradicate poverty, not to make anyone homeless. All right,
Mm.
and seek beggars. All right,
Mm.
shelterless. We must not do that at all.
Yeah.
No one should be unemployed. That's why I'm saying I want to make the young people to, when I teach them, I want them to be job creators. I also want them to form a team. I don't want them
Yeah.
to be individuals. It's not private individuals something. I want a group to do something, and also
Mm.
want them to address issues to solve the problem of the people that suffer in our
Yeah.
townships, in the rural areas and things like that. That's what we need, and reduce inequality too. We don't need some very rich people. You know what
Mm.
that great philosopher said? This Yaakov, who created the African Enlightenment long before the European Enlightenment. He
Yeah.
said, "Who is more happy, the poor or the rich?" He said, "The poor are often more happy than the rich. Why? When they have nothing, when you give them, they smile, they are happy. The rich, they have more. When they don't get more, they get miserable," he said. so so
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
all these politicians to be
Yeah.
to be to be miserable. Why don't they
Yeah.
become like the poor people, who
Yeah.
just to get something so that everybody is okay, so we
Can
don't have
live.
any beggars. You know,
Yes. Yes.
in a country like South Africa, we should not have anyone begging. I'm telling you, you have
Yeah.
enough to make sure that not only for you but the whole of Africa, you'll be a great leader. I want
Yeah.
you to be the model, and
Yeah.
people like us, we fought for you. You know,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Even we fought. Even when I was in America, we struggled very much. I even went to jail for you against apartheid. You know, we're fighting. I
And you're
mean,
still
we
serving till today. Yeah.
yes, we still South Africa is in our heart. I mean,
Yeah.
also when we're you not believe our Emperor Haile Selassie. I mean, at least here in Pretoria they have two statues for him. I mean, because with Madiba, they were all good friends and they supported each other. I mean, he was, what I must tell you is when we grew up, I must tell you, all my friends, wherever they
Yeah.
are now, my age group, South Africa was in our heart. Because you
Sure.
know what you used to do? Every day when you're struggling there, on the media, they show you, even when people
Sure.
die, the way you do it. The way
Sure.
the way you do it is incredible.
Yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
used to just, you were just in our heart, in our soul, in our mind
Yeah.
all the time. So that's why
Wow.
when my friends say to me, "Mamo, why don't you come to Ghana? Why don't you go to Ghana? I must go to South Africa because South Africa is in my heart." I say. I mean, this is something we grew up because
Wow.
we grew up with the resistance you're doing was something very, and I hope now you will also create the not the political codesa, economic codesa too, so that you can actually
That's
make
what we
sure
are.
that
Yes.
yes, all of you should not, nobody should be a beggar. Trust me,
Exactly.
in South
Exactly.
Africa, and you are not many people. You have a great country. You have uncultivable, uh, uncultivated urban land, huge land. You still have
Yeah.
so to farm everything like that. The same for Africa. They
Yeah.
said in Africa, over 60% of our land is uncultivated urban land. Can you imagine? We
Hmm.
have everything. We have the ocean. We have water. We have the sun, electricity, wind power, solar power, everything. I mean, and I don't think we have a problem with engineering to solve it
Sure.
if we manage
Sure.
it very well. It's just the
Yes.
way we manage it. The politics is rough.
It's the
We need to
politics. Yeah.
really, the politics is very rough.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
politics is not our own politics, it's external politics too. You see,
True.
neocolonialism is still with us. We're not completely decolonized. We still
Yeah.
have a problem. The French part, they do all these things. They Anglophone, Lusophone. Africa should be philia, love, not phone. We're not a phone. We should be out of that situation. I think
Hmm.
that's what we should. That's my suggestion.
Prof, that's a great way to end our conversation. I'm really inspired. I think I will through the university, would love to organize a part two conversation with you. There's just so many things
I
that,
think
1
yes,
hour is not enough to
yes,
to pack everything within the hour. And maybe
yes.
I'll come to TUT and we can do it as a live stream. Who knows?
No, no,
So
we can, no, no. I can also come
yeah,
to Joburg. I was there the other day. On
yeah.
Thursday, I was in Joburg. If I had
Oh,
known, I would have
nice.
done it with you. But
No,
you're doing
definitely,
great job. I think it's important.
definitely.
We also need to
Yeah.
change the media. The media must also not dramatize problems. We should be
Yes.
focusing on
Yes.
solutions, how to
Yes.
create,
Yes.
to resolve difficulties, not
Yes.
to dramatize all kinds of
Yes.
problems. I think
Yeah.
we need, and also this social media now. I mean, some are washed with all kinds of things. You see,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we need to also use this digital technology also properly.
Mm,
I mean, we
mm,
can actually do it very nicely. In the rural areas now, we can use digital technology.
yeah.
M-Pesa, the Kenyans use. I mean, you don't need how to read and write. You can use the technology now. So
That's
there's a
true.
lot of opportunities we have. I
Yeah.
think the problem we have now is how we can get ourselves through the values of Ubuntu. I am you, you
Yes.
are me. There's an I in
Yeah.
you, there's a you I. We are one. Now let's support very much Osiri University. They want the
Yeah.
Ubuntu philosophy to guide the entire education system. They are not
Yeah.
for money, they are not for anything. They want to
Yeah.
liberate Africa from all the troubles we have been going through an
Correct.
extraordinary education philosophy that is a lifesaver philosophy. All right?
Correct. Yeah.
We need a lifesaver humanity complex, not a military industrial complex like Americans have. We need
Yeah.
to, and Africa must create the humanity lifesaver Ubuntu complex through Osiris University. That's my suggestion.
Awesome. I think there's a bit of some struggle streaming towards the end.
Okay.
Professor, thank you. I will end it here. I've shared all the information. We will post it as comments as well to this live stream.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, for your wisdom, for the kind words and support that you have for South Africa. I am for the removal of colonial borders within the continent. That's what we
Thank you.
stand for. That's what we are here to fight for. Thank you very much, and thank you to
Very
those who
good.
joined us this afternoon. As you can see, the fees are more than reasonable. For the wealth of information, knowledge,
Yes.
ecosystem, network, etc., etc., etc. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you,
Thank you so much,
Professor.
my friend. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Send me
Bye.
the link then. I'll share it also.
I'll do so.
Yeah.
I'll do so.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
God
Thanks.
bless
Bye bye.
you. Thank you. Have a nice
You too.
weekend.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, you're lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This was a great, very inspiring. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your Saturdays. I don't know if there's any sports happening today, but whatever you're doing, be safe. Like I said, I did share the information. This is the link for applying at the university or siriuniversity.org/apply. Should you want any information, you can email Gabo at osiriuniversity.org. Should all of that have missed you and so forth, you can also send an email to us at info@brownsense.co.za. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend.